some of the stuff that was going on 4 years ago. You know, when you talk to these Trump supporters, right? And you ask them, well, were you doing better off 4 years ago than you are today? They lie through their teeth and they say, yes, Zeus, I was doing a lot better 4 years ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back in time. All right, let's go back in time. Where is it at? Let's go back in time. Hold on. Mike, listen up, Mike. All right, today is now, you got to use your imagination. Today is May 24th, 2020. And it's time to see what was going on in the world at around this time, ladies and gentlemen. On May 24th, 2020, Washington sees a spike in the virus numbers. Do you remember this, ladies and gentlemen? There was a spike in these cases in Washington, D.C. According to data from the D.C. Department of Health, the increase could pose a setback for the criteria the mayor, thank you, G-Man, is using to decide when Washington will begin stage 1 of reopening. Until this weekend, Washington had 11 days of declining community spread of the virus. The city said 14 days of decline were needed as one of the measurements necessary before moving to stage 1 of reopening. So that's what was going on in this country. Yeah, you probably had more money in your pocket, but yeah, it's like Morningstar said, it's because you weren't going anywhere, MAGA. See, they don't like it when I get out here and tell the truth. Oh, what else was going on? Oh, Illinois governor unveiled guidelines for businesses reopening in phase 3. Yes, Governor J.B. Pritzker released industry guidelines for businesses that will be operating when the state begins phase 3 of its 5-phase reopening plan. All right? Manufacturing facilities, offices, retail stores, salons, and barbershops will now be allowed to reopen with capacity limits and other restrictions. Do you all remember all of this happening, ladies and gentlemen? Do you all remember this happened during the pandemic? Do you all remember this? Oh, yeah, this is what was going on 4 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Another headline. More than 5,600 NYPD members have returned to work after recovering from the virus. As of Sunday, 5,604 members of the New York Police Department have returned to work full-time after recovering from the virus, okay? This is another example of how these folks on social media, TikTok, they get out here and they lie through their teeth when you ask them 4 years ago, were you doing better? All right, and you know what Donald Trump was doing, ladies and gentlemen. It wouldn't be a party unless we brought Trump into it. 4 years ago from today, Donald Trump announced new travel restrictions on Brazil. Yes, former President Donald Trump issued a proclamation suspending entry into the United States for any individual who has been in Brazil within 14 days immediately prior to their arrival. This is what was going on in this country, ladies and gentlemen. All right, quote, this is what Trump says. I have determined that it is in the interest of the United States to take action to restrict and suspend the entry into the United States as immigrants or non-immigrants of all aliens who were physically present in the Federative Republic of Brazil during the 14-day period preceding their entry or attempted entry into the United States. You see, ladies and gentlemen, 4 years ago, this nation was on its knees. And Donald Trump was lying to us about the dangers of the pandemic. And these Trump supporters know it, but they don't care. They would rather lie through their disgusting teeth. They'd rather get on their knees for Donald Trump and believe and spread that dangerous lie that he's been spreading. These are the worst of the worst, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget what happened 4 years ago when Donald Trump was in office, all right? And millions of Americans lost their lives because he mismanaged the pandemic. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Because these Trump supporters, they have no shame, we have to give it to them, right? Join me in giving them what they deserve. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
See, sometimes I take you back in time because I got to remind folks what's really going to happen in November. If Donald Trump somehow makes it into the White House, you better bet your bottom dollar there will be another pandemic under his watch, probably something a lot worse. And he's already showed you before he won't do his job. He doesn't care about you. So you better make sure you wake up and understand what's really going on out here. Don't be in your feelings and quit watching that nasty Fox News and stay out of these lives on TikTok where these fake TikTok hosts and these fake TikTok lawyers try to tell you otherwise. All right. Speaking of fake TikTok lawyers, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. We got to once again revisit that New York hush money trial where we all know that Donald J. Trump is probably on the verge of being convicted, right? He's on the verge of being convicted. All right. And so the question now is, will the jury convict Trump? And we got some clues about whether the jury will do this or not. MAGA, this is going to scare you. This is going to scare you, MAGA. You might want to leave. Go leave, because this is spooky. All right. So it's been 4+ weeks of rolling in the muck in the Manhattan courthouse with sometimes heated testimony and cross-examination featuring a tabloid publisher, Stormy Daniels, and a former fixer, Michael Cohen. And nobody involved is coming out looking good. Now, ain't that the truth? No one involved is looking good. Michael Cohen doesn't look good, Stormy doesn't look good, and Donald Trump doesn't look good. That's facts. But that's not what the People versus Trump is ultimately about. The first ever criminal trial prosecution of a United States president, at least according to the team of prosecutors working under Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, is about alleged election interference during the 2016 campaign committed at the behest of the former and potentially future president. All right. And the question is Alvin Bragg going to convince the jury? Well, as we approach closing arguments on Tuesday, here's what we can say. It appears that the odds of Donald Trump being convicted are fairly good. Fairly good, but not overwhelming, perhaps slightly more than not. The likelihood of an acquittal, which would require all 12 jurors to unanimously conclude that Trump is not guilty, appears to be slim. Again, there is a very real chance that one or more jurors will refuse to convict, most likely because they are unwilling to fully credit the testimony of Michael Cohen. And that jury will hang, resulting in a mistrial and a de facto victory for Trump. All right? Several major factors issue appear to be largely, if not entirely, incontestable at this point. All right? Given the way that the evidence came in over the course of the trial, much of it is not good for Donald Trump. Listen up. First, this is undeniable. Donald Trump had an extramarital encounter with Stormy Daniels. That's facts. Despite his years-long claims to the contrary, both before and during the trial. Second, Donald Trump worked with and through David Pecker, the former publisher of the National Enquirer, to catch and kill damaging stories about him to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. And Trump wanted him to do the same thing with Stormy Daniels once she began shopping it around in the final weeks of the campaign. Third, after Pecker declined to kill the Daniels story, Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels himself and was later reimbursed for the cost by Donald Trump. And fourth, the Trump Organization's business records inaccurately described the reimbursement to Cohen as work for legal services. These are the facts. There is, however, a potentially crucial ingredient missing from this list. In order to convict Donald Trump on felony charges by prosecutors, it is not enough for them to establish that Trump paid Stormy Daniels off to influence the election, or even that he falsified his company's business records. That would only be a misdemeanor. In order to establish Donald Trump's guilt on the felony charge that have been brought, prosecutors have to persuade all 12 jurors beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump falsified those records with the intent to conceal another crime. Right? Such as breaking election laws. In the end, the case could rise or fall on that ostensibly narrow but essentially and still hotly contested factual question. All right? So here's how he's going to get convicted now that we've laid the foundation. Broadly speaking, Alvin Bragg's office has provided two logical paths for jurors to convict Donald Trump. One that goes through Cohen and one that goes around him. The path that goes through Cohen relies on his testimony about purported conversations that he had with Donald Trump about the relevant events in the 2016 and 2017 years. If you believe Cohen and his testimony broadly established Trump's involvement in the knowledge of the underlying effort to purchase Daniel's story in order to ensure that it did not hurt Donald Trump's 2016 election chances, prosecutors have characterized that scheme as a conspiracy to influence the election using illegal campaign contributions. You see, he was supposed to report all contributions he's gotten. But if he's concealing those contributions by miscategorizing the expenses, then we wouldn't have known it. Right? No, East Texas. This is true. This is evidence. All right. So we got illegal campaign contributions. Cohen's testimony has also sought to establish the process for Trump's reimbursing Cohen for the payment to Daniels using intentionally falsified business records. Can you say scheme, MAGA? MAGA, seriously, can you say scheme? MAGA, can you say scheme? Can you say falsified, MAGA? Can you say falsified business records, MAGA? It's getting ridiculous, right, Takesha? It's getting ridiculous that we have to keep saying these same words to you in order for them to be tattooed on your thoughts. Crimes, schemes, falsified business records, hush money, catch and kill. Donald Trump. Do you get it, MAGA? Jurors do not have to believe Michael Cohen entirely on every minute detail, but they could adopt the overall thrust of his account. In Cohen's tellings, Trump was fully in the loop and understood exactly why everything in this intricate scheme was happening, up to and including the purpose of falsifying the company's records concerning the reimbursement to Cohen. That falsifying the records was intended to conceal the commission of another crime of some sort. Okay, you get it? The second path to conviction relies on circumstantial evidence, interference, and common sense, all of which, as a legal matter, are perfectly appropriate grounds upon which jurors can render a verdict. There is plenty of reason, even apart from the direct evidence offered by Michael Cohen of Donald Trump's participation in approving the deal. All right? In the deal with Stormy Daniels and signing off on the false records regarding the reimbursement. To believe that Donald Trump was in everything and fully aware of the legal risk and implications of what he had done. After all, Donald Trump was the only full-time participant in all of the key events. Listen up, MAGA. This is for you. Donald Trump, he was the person that hooked up with Stormy Daniels, right? He was the candidate that was running for president, whose political interests were at risk if Stormy Daniels and his situation became public. He was also the principal that was represented by Michael Cohen, all right? He was also the person who ultimately gave the money for Stormy Daniels to stay quiet. And he was the head of the business whose records were falsified in the course of repaying Michael Cohen. This smells like crime, and it got Donald Trump's name all over it, ladies and gentlemen. So, no matter how you look at it, all roads point to guilty. You can't have all of this happening without Donald Trump, right? So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm so sorry that I had to make sure I explain this in detail, but I want these Trump supporters to get ready for the guilty verdict so that they don't, lose their, when it happens. All right. So since these Trump supporters are struggling to understand how crimes that are committed end up being prosecuted and the person involved gets convicted, I'm gonna need you to help me do this. Can you all help me give these Trump supporters another round of booze and shame?
Silence! You macaron demon!
Wait. Someone asked me a question. He said, wait a minute. So why did the FEC find a crime You got to remember, Bill Barr did his best to make sure that the federal government didn't prosecute the campaign finance violation. So he had Bill Barr in the government as the attorney general squashing that. But it didn't mean there wasn't a crime that was committed. Now, what Alvin Bragg is doing, that's not federal, that's state. So when you break laws, you got to understand this, MAGA. When you break the law, there's state laws and then there's federal laws. And you could be doing both. You could be. All right. And it doesn't matter. One of those attack dogs are going to get you. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. All right. I mean, don't you believe we should be holding our leaders accountable? MAGA, don't you believe we should be holding our leaders accountable? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's move it along. You know what we got to do. Oh, Snuggles is losing. Overwhelming majority of you believe Snuggles is losing. Yes, I agree. All right, let's get ready to round the corner and get ready to open up these boxes. And you know what that means. We once again have to revisit January 6th, ladies and gentlemen. You know what this is about. You know what this is about. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, another fugitive has been brought to justice. All right, thank God. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I once again remind you all on just how dangerous Donald Trump and his supporters are by retelling what happened on January 6th. All right? So if you can, please bear with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're not hostages, you're traitors. All right? And a lot of you still don't understand how you ended up in that jail cell. So I'm going to help you all understand how you ended up in that jail cell. All right? Number one, you're not critical thinkers. You're really not that bright and intelligent. You're not Christians. You're hypocrites. You're not patriots. You're traitors. All right? You believe QAnon conspiracies, and you don't question a single thing Donald Trump says to you. That's how you ended up in those jail cells. All right? And I'm going to help you understand how it all began. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. Now, MAGA, do you remember this?
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
That's what Donald Trump was saying to you during the pandemic, because he knew that he was going to lose to Joe Biden because he mismanaged the pandemic, right? And he couldn't figure out a way to remain in power. If he just did his job, he may have had a chance. Instead of doing his job, he decided to engage in a nasty scheme. All right? Nasty scheme. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Well, let me remind you, election night happened, all right? And we all saw the results of the election, all right? When the election results came in, there wasn't a red wave. No, it was a red trickle at best. There was a blue tsunami and there was a big blue wall. Donald Trump was supposed to come out that night and concede to Joe Biden. But what did he do instead? Listen up.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
You hear that? He's not conceding. He's doubling down on the big lie that the election was rigged, MAGA. And you're not even questioning him. You're eating it like a pig eats slop. Disgusting. And what does he do next, ladies and gentlemen? He goes one step further. And he actually tricks his supporters into believing that he won. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Have any of you been able to play any sport? Have you seen any sport where the score, the game's over, winner, loser, and the loser walks over to everyone in the audience and says, "We won." And everyone goes, "Yeah." Have anyone seen anything like that? Never. But listen to how Donald Trump and his foolish supporters, these are some sheep. These are actually worse than sheep. I don't even think sheep would believe him. But listen to what his deranged supporters do after he convinces them that he won.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Yeah, it all makes sense. We did win. And just like that, now they became radicalized soldiers for Donald Trump. These people are now ready to fight and lose their life for this man. And Donald Trump knows it. So now that he got these folks, these are prime candidates for hell, right? Now that he got them nice and wet, right? He decides to engage in another scheme, all right? Say scheme, MAGA. He does this.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
That's the fake electors scheme that he put into motion, right, MAGA? So he got you wet and ready, and he has this fake elector scheme in motion. And you know what's next. You know what's next. I always do it. I always have to do it. We all remember what he did to you. Attention, all my little Trumpies. He calls the ones that wear those red hats his little Trumpies. These are Trump loyalists, all right? They're like the redcoats back in the day, but they're loyalists toward Donald Trump. I lost to Joe Biden, and I'm very, very angry. What I need for you all to do is to sell everything you have. East Texas, Ray, sell everything that you have and send the proceeds to me, your daddy. Because I need that money. But then I need you to do something real special for me. I need you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event that I am hosting called, I need a good name for this event. Oh, Stop the Steal. Yes, I am hosting an event called Stop the Steal. All right? Be there. Okay, it's going to be a big protest. Be there. Will be wild. That's an offer these MAGA demons can't refuse, right? Oh, I could be with my Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. Wow. First thing first, honey, how much money do we got in the checking account? $5. Well, how much do we got in the savings? $20. Okay, I need you to send that all to Donald Trump. I got a date. We got a date with him, honey. Let's get to D.C. All right? And this is what these MAGA demons did. And so you go, well, how did all these Trump supporters, because there were supposedly millions of them there, because he has millions of people in his rallies, right? How did they all get to Washington, D.C.? You all know how they got to Washington, D.C., right? You see this thing right here? How many of you been out there in the real world and you've seen these U-Hauls? Have any of you ever looked at a U-Haul and said, you know what? That would be an excellent way for a lot of us to get to Washington, D.C. Have any of you ever looked at a U-Haul that way? A MAGA limo, right, PA? Have any of you ever looked at a U-Haul and said, you know what? That's an excellent transport vehicle for me and a bunch of criminals. Have any of you ever done that? Okay, I haven't either. But that's what MAGA did. These folks think they're geniuses, by the way. You talk to them on TikTok. These same people, they want to get up here and tell me stuff. The first thing I start to think in my head, I'm like, How do you expect me to listen to you or take you serious when I know that you would get in the back of the U-Haul with a bunch of sweaty grown men and cram in there like a can of sardines? I can't take you folks serious. You're all laughing stock of this country. So these folks got into the back of the U-Hauls, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to know who these folks were? Look at them. These are the folks that were in the back of those U-Haul. Yeah, it's the MAGA limo. You know who these folks are, right? This is the Patriot Front. The Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers. Yeah, proud to go be with Donald Trump. These folks got in the back of the U-Haul, and you see what they're doing. They're wearing a mask, right? These are the same folks during the pandemic that would refuse to wear a mask. You go to the produce section of your grocery store, and you would see them with the mask because, the store had mask requirements. But they're going to go in there defiant. Instead of wearing the mask like this, they walk in there with the mask like this, right? And you can see the snot coming out of their nose, and you go over to them because they're at the produce section. Sir, sir, ma'am, could you scoot the mask up, like scoot it up, and cover your nose? No, I can't wear that mask because if you make me wear that mask, I can't breathe. And then they cough all over the produce, crashing out. Okay, fine, I'm gonna leave you alone. I get it. You must not really be able to breathe if you wear that mask. But then we catch them in the back of these U-Hauls, crammed like some sardines wearing masks. You see how we catch you Trump supporters in your lies? Clearly, you can breathe through the mask, unless you're trying to say that the MAGA demon gives you special superhero powers. Stop lying. Just admit you don't know what the heck you're saying. All right? So these Trump supporters, these MAGA demons, they end up in Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, and I kid you not. They get an update from Lieutenant Marjorie Trader Greene, who we all know knows a lot about those pipe bombs that were planted around the United States Capitol. They get some orders from Marjorie. Listen to what Marjorie told these MAGA demons.
If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Finished with our meetings here at the White House this afternoon. We had a great planning session for our January 6th objection. We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Right. So now that these MAGA demons are wet and ready for Donald Trump, let's go visit the White House, if you don't mind. Let's go visit the White House, all right? At the White House on January 6th, there was an exchange that took place between Donald Trump and his vice president at the time, Mike Pence. Donald Trump moseys over into Mike Pence's quarters. Pence, I got everything in motion. I got the fake elector scheme in motion. All right, and I got millions and millions of my most loyal Trumpies waiting for me at the ellipse, Pence. The only thing I need you to do is what I asked you to do. Don't certify those votes for Joe Biden. And Pence said, you know what, Mr. President, unfortunately, that's a bridge too far for me. I will not follow you into your crimes, all right? Because what you're asking me to do is to place you above the United States Constitution, a document that the founding fathers and the framers fought and bled for, a document that even to this day, millions of Americans continue to fight and bleed for. So, Mr. President, unfortunately, I won't be able to obey that order. I will certify those votes for Joe Biden. Donald Trump leans into Mike Pence's face. His breath is smelling like cheeseburgers and Diet Coke. And he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. And he calls him the nasty P word. The same P word that you heard in the Access Hollywood tape. This is Donald Trump in action. He goes over to his security. Security, take me to the ellipse to be with my troops. Take me to be with them. Sir, those people are armed to the T. They got tactical gear. They got brass knuckles. They got pew-pews. They got weapons like you've never seen. As a matter of fact, they got demon spray. What's demon spray? Oh, that spray that if we spray you with it, it'll fill you up with the MAGA demon. They got that? Yeah, I don't care. Take me to be with my soldiers. Yes, sir. You know, Secret Service, they had no choice but to obey him. So he gets to the ellipse. They take him to go to meet up with his troops at the ellipse, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these people he went to go meet up with. Look at that. These are all the folks he saw at the ellipse. These folks are wet and ready for Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. And when he gets to the ellipse, you know what he does. He encourages them to engage in heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Right. And they began to march to the Capitol. And there was something that happened. You all remember when they were chanting to unalive the vice president? Right. They wanted to unalive the vice president of the United States. This is what was going on in the minds of these MAGA demons.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
So, let's have trial by combat.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
So, let's have trial by combat.
You hear that? These MAGA demons, ladies and gentlemen, they're wet and ready to do anything Donald Trump says do. And this is the crime scene of January 6th that millions of Americans witnessed because Donald Trump's big lie. You all remember Ashley Babbitt? Do you all remember Ashley Babbitt, ladies and gentlemen? Do you all remember this lady right here? Filled to the brim, her cup runneth over with the MAGA demon. Ashley Babbitt, ladies and gentlemen, was caught on a hot mic right before she met her demise. And if you listen to the rhetoric that she was spewing, you'll understand why Donald Trump is 100% responsible for her loss of life. Listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to her.
District. Why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this Margaret Karen. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. Capital and a mob, there's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, patriots and Trump.
A sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, patriots for Trump. Now, has anyone ever heard me during this part of the show? Have I mentioned anything about BLM or Antifa or the FBI? Have I mentioned any of those organizations? Have I mentioned them? Nancy Pelosi? Has anyone heard Nancy Pelosi being involved in any of this? Or does this seem like it's 100% MAGA? MAGA. Yeah. It's all MAGA. We got you on tape. We got the recordings. And it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ange. This is the moment Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield. She was one of Donald Trump's foot soldiers, but this is the moment right before she lost her life in the battlefield. You could hear him saying, "There's a pew pew." And she still continued to climb through that window. And she lost her life in the battlefield, fighting for Donald Trump. She really did believe his big lie. She believed his big lie that the election was rigged. And what did Donald Trump, her commander-in-chief, what did he do when he found out that one of his foot soldiers lost their life in the battlefield? Does anyone know what Donald Trump did when he found out Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield for him? Does anyone know? Let me help you understand what happened.
Some information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol, and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
Wow. He lost one of his foot soldiers and he couldn't even send his condolences? How self-centered, evil, and how much of a coward can you be to be the president of the United States of America and know that you led one of your soldiers into battle, and when they lost their life, you had nothing to say because you were disappointed that she didn't accomplish the goal, which is to commit more of the crime you had, possessed her to believe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is January 6th, as millions of us in America remember. This was not a peaceful protest at all. This was an insurrection that was led and organized by Donald J. Trump and his inner circle and executed by his foot soldiers. This is why Donald Trump is a clear and present danger to our democracy. All right? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have another update about another MAGA demon that has been brought to justice. All right? Here he is. All righty. Who do we got? A Coy man arrested for his alleged January 6th involvement. According to the United States District Attorney of Columbia, a Coy man was arrested for his alleged involvement in the January 6th insurrection. The FBI in Albany said it received and investigated a tip about Francis Joseph Vitolo's involvement, which led to his arrest. What are his charges? Here you go. Look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Standard charges for most insurrectionists: entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building or grounds, parading, picketing, and demonstrating in a Capitol building. FBI Albany says its investigation revealed that video footage and images showed Vitolo walking toward the United States Capitol, standing and walking on restricted grounds outside of the Capitol building, and walking and sitting down and appearing to use his phone inside the Capitol building. He allegedly entered the building at around 2:43 p.m. as part of the insurrection. The court documents and arrest warrant were filed on May 10th following the discovery of this evidence, and he was arrested on May 15th. Thank God we got another insurrectionist off of these streets. We already have a crime problem in this country, right? And when we get these Trump supporters and we bring them to justice like this, it helps me sleep at night knowing there's one less traitor out there amongst us. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving this seditionist, treasonist, traitor what he deserves. Look at him one more time. Look at him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this traitor. Look at this MAGA demon. Join me in giving him what he deserves. A round of boos and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right. And since he's been brought to justice, all right, and he's a foot soldier for Donald Trump, let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engage in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that, MAGA? You do not represent this country. You broke the law, and you will pay. I mean, this is the same guy that told you the big lie and lured your special behinds there. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves?
You heard? We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
You hear that? You hear that, MAGA? That's your cult leader that tricked you into going to Washington, D.C., telling you that you're very special. And not in a good way. When someone tells you you're special, that's not a compliment, MAGA. I don't know what planet you're from, but that's not a compliment. That means something's not firing up here. Hold on. Amanda, again, are you okay, Amanda? Are you okay, Amanda? Are you listening to what I'm saying, Amanda? Because I don't think you're really paying attention to anything that I'm saying, Amanda. It seems to me like you may have slipped, fell, and tripped and ended up in the wrong live. Yeah, we're not here praising Donald Trump. We don't worship Donald Trump over here, Amanda. We hold him accountable. All right? And Amanda, I got some bad news for you. You need to get out of that fog that you're currently in, Amanda, because the rest of the country, the rest of the world is laughing at all of you Trump supporters. You know why we're laughing, Amanda? I'll tell you why we're laughing. Because you are all being manipulated and taken advantage by Donald Trump, who is arguably running the largest circus known to mankind. Yeah, you're all a bunch of characters in there, right? You know that he is a clown, right, Amanda? Let me explain to you why Donald Trump is a clown for the first part. Let me explain to you why Donald Trump is a clown, Amanda, because, you know, it seems like you may have watched a couple of videos on X, and you went to that so-called, you called it a rally yesterday in the Bronx. We don't call that a rally at the Bronx last night, Amanda. You know what we call that? That was tryouts, right? He's running a circus, and he's looking for more characters to put into the circus act, all right? He's a ringmaster. And get this, Amanda, follow me if you can. Donald Trump does exactly what a clown does, right? Clown wears makeup. Does Donald Trump wear makeup? You're darn right he does. He wakes up every day. He puts the orange makeup on. Amanda, Melania, don't I look so good? Yeah, you look good. Clown puts on a wig. What does Donald Trump do? He puts that bird's nest right there, ladies and gentlemen. He puts that bird's nest smack dab right there on his cranium. Don't I look so good, Amanda? I'm going to give you everything you want. Just send me the money first. Right? And then the clown, the clown wears that ridiculous suit with the thing around its waist. Donald Trump does the same thing. Look at that. He wears this diaper. He puts diapers on, and we got evidence that he wears diapers because you Trump supporters say things like real men wear diapers, real women wear diapers. He puts the diaper on around his waist, and then he puts on that same crumpled blue suit with that ridiculous red tie. Now he's changing it up, all right, because he's trying to throw people off because he's listening to my show, and he knows we're on him like white on rice, but he does the same thing the clown does. And all of you Trump supporters are nothing more than the opening, the climax, and the ending act in his circus. Every day, he comes up with a new way to get you guys to give him all of your hard-earned money. It's ridiculous. He's selling you gold shoes. You only can buy gold shoes at a circus. He's selling you fake black cards. You only can buy those at a circus. They're not worth anything in the real world. All right? He's selling you steaks. He's selling you water. He's giving you Trump University. All right? Everything he can. He's actually selling you some of his suit, if you believe that, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is selling stock. The only people buying anything Donald Trump is selling, MAGA, are you. You're right, the rest of the world is laughing, but they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. When are you going to wake up and get out of that fog, MAGA? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that you actually believe you have something valuable to contribute to the conversation at this point when we've spent hours and hours, days, years debunking every single lie you've spread. We debunk them all the time. You sit on TikTok. Your lives aren't that popping because no one believes you. You don't even believe what you're saying anymore. Your marriages are in shambles. Why is your marriage in shambles? Because your husband is worshiping Donald Trump. Maybe you want to not worship Donald Trump, but you're afraid to tell your husband because you don't want to deal with the truth. And that's what's going on here. You're going to really sit back and think Donald Trump didn't have a relationship with Stormy? You don't think that really happened? You were going to sit here and tell me in 2024, you still believe in witch hunts as if the Salem witch trials are still going on in 2024. You're going to sit here and say that, MAGA? What planet are you on? Your pastor told you what? Your pastor should be fired, right? If you are sitting in a church, ladies and gentlemen, and your pastor says something in support of Donald J. Trump, I'm going to be honest with you. That pastor is not of God. That pastor is of the devil. And you are being misled. And if you're taking your children and your family there, you're just setting them all up to go straight to the pits of hell. This is an embarrassment to this country, what we're dealing with. It's a disgrace to this nation. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Grown men giving another grown man, Donald Trump, everything he wants without questioning it. And then getting on TikTok and defending the indefensible. What a sick and twisted world you've gotten yourselves into, MAGA. And we're not going to let you drag us into it. And that's why this November, ladies and gentlemen, we are all going to do the right thing, which is vote blue, right? All right, let's open up those boxes, ladies and gentlemen, and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. That concludes my monologue. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me, all right, as we plow through all of these lies and conspiracies and this misinformation that continues to circulate out here on the internet. These Trump supporters don't like me, all right? But you know what? I don't care. You know what? Because you know what I say to them, right? They don't like me because I tell the truth. But you know what? I'd rather tell the truth and be realer than you than to be sitting in a jail cell believing Donald J. Trump and his lies. Absolutely. And look, MAGA, look at this. Look at that. You see that? No strings attached. I am not a hand puppet. There's nobody forcing me to get out here and say this. I'm doing this because the soul of this country is on the line. Our democracy is on the line. All right? You got to start thinking critically. Is it really Zeus and everyone that comes up here that are making things up? Or is there a good chance that you may have been lied to? I don't coordinate with none of these people that come up. We don't coordinate. We don't meet offline in a secret room and come up with a way to talk about what's really going on. We just pay attention. We look at the facts. We see what you got. We look at what's over here. We look at everything and we go, okay, this is more likely true than it's not. And you need to learn how to start doing that. And I mean that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's open up the box. Mr. Texas, what brings you into the kingdom this bright and early, considering your position politically?
Zeus, man, I just wanted to say thank you for the great entertainment, and you got to tip the clowns, man. You know, whenever you go see a show, you got to tip your clowns.
Right.
So keep your entertainment happy.
So is that what you did yesterday in New York? I'm confused.
No, I didn't go to New York.
Oh, okay. So then what's this clown thing you're talking about? I don't get it.
I'm tipping you, boss man.
Oh, well, thank you for calling me a boss man, but this is not a circus.
Sure it is, man. That's why you get in the corn.
Okay. So if this is a circus, what does that mean? What does that make you? You know, every time
it makes me a spectator of your show.
No. Because you're actually participating in it.
Yeah, I know. I'm tipping you, man.
So you're not a spectator. You're a participant in the circus. You see, this is what I'm saying, Texas. Your logic. This is what the problem with a lot of you Trump supporters. You're not as intelligent as you think you are. You get what I'm saying? You
gotta go circus, back. Zeus.
No. Go back down in the audience and rethink the punchline, and then come back when you got it figured out. Can you do that? I mean, I think you
circus, Zeus.
I think you can make it
a
joke. I think you can make it a joke.
I didn't tip Trump. I tipped Zeus.
Oh,
it's Zeus's circus, man.
So wait a second. You've never sent Donald Trump any money?
No, not a dime.
I don't believe you. Show us your bank account. Show us your bank statement right now. Can you do that?
No, it's got too many numbers in it to be showing it on public.
Okay. Well, listen, Mr. Texas, I'm going to need you to get back in the audience, all right, and work on your punchlines, because you're not really good at this, all right? Actually, the way that I see it, you've actually revealed to me that you're not able to connect the dots. Hey, thank you, G-Man. All right, and if you said you got a lot of money in your account, why are you only tipping with corn? Prove to us that you really are. No. Prove to us that you really are as wealthy as you say you are. You see, ladies and gentlemen, and like that, ladies and gentlemen, we got East Texas caught in another lie. He doesn't have any money because he sent it all to Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving E Texas what he deserves. A round of booze and shame. He can't even afford to subscribe.
Silence! You macaron demon!
Texas, thank you, Levi. Texas, now I just spent a good amount of time explaining to you how you are in Donald Trump's circus and that Donald Trump is the biggest and most successful ringmaster in American history. I just gave you the material, and your clever little mind, I use that in quotes, decides you're going to come up into my broadcast and use my same jokes. Actually, it's not a joke. It's a truth. You're going to use my same material on me. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at E Texas. You know what, E Texas? I was expecting more, actually. I was expecting more. That's nothing to a billionaire like yourself. E Texas, stop it. All right, seriously. All right, but I appreciate you for at least making the attempt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. Oh yes, I was on RE yesterday. I was on MSNBC yesterday. Isn't that amazing? That's twice in a row. I think MSNBC, and not just MSNBC, but I actually think a lot of these news networks are watching this show, and they're realizing Americans aren't as they are being portrayed on the news. A lot of people that come to my show feel the exact same way about Donald Trump, which is why we all know Donald Trump is going to win in 2024. All right, let's move it along. All right, Gina, good morning. How are you doing, Gina?
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you? How are my friends?
They're doing great. Hold on, let me get my camera on.
This is sometimes you got to show the pooches some love. All right. Oh, keep it coming, E-Texas. You might have a future with Zeus. Keep it coming. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, my God.
On MSNBC, that was awesome. I
You
watch it
saw,
every day.
you saw me. You saw me on MSNBC. Wasn't that incredible?
It was incredible. You do a great job. You deserve it. And I don't follow a lot of people, but you're like my favorite.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, how have you been, and how are the pooches? All right, they look like they're so.
Toopy's doing good. Oh, he's gonna press the button for you. Hold on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see it.
Up. All right, come here, Koopy. Show him what you can do.
Lock Trump up.
Yep, that's what he said.
Even the dog knows.
Your turn, Dexter.
Dexter, come on, Dexter. Come on, Dexter. Come on, Dexter.
Goose is the most handsome. All right, hold on.
You watch, Nutty.
Watch. Okay, Dexter, press the button.
Hey! I heard it. No. Look at no. The dogs are not crazy. Knock it off. These are intelligent dogs. They're more intelligent than a lot of Trump supporters. Seriously.
Yeah, we're outside. We're going outside because they want to be out here.
Oh wow! It looks nice and warm over there. What is the weather like over there?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's like in the 70s.
Wow! I love it. I love it. And the grass is green and everything. Wow, that is looking nice. All right.
Yeah, compared to the snow. I think last time we had snow in April was the last time I was on here.
Yeah. I remember that. I do remember that. Wow. Well, it's so nice that you and the pooches are doing okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you for bringing us up here.
You're welcome. All right. You're totally welcome. And again, I look forward to all of the nice little tricks that you and them are doing in terms of supporting our democracy. It really does mean a lot to all of us in the kingdom. All right, Gina? Thank you. All right, Gina. Well, listen up. I'll see you next time. All right, ladies and
gentlemen. Have a great day. I got to go walk some dogs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the beautiful Gina a round of applause. All right. You too. Bye. All right. Oh my God. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? It's not that difficult to simply get out here and just share the truth. I seen our friend Tiny Tim Tank Top is in the house. Zeus, serious question. How can you accuse Republicans of being hateful while you spew hate? Let me ask the audience that question. Good morning, G-Man. Does anyone in the audience believe Tiny Tank Top Man, his claim that I'm spewing hate? Does anyone believe that I'm spewing hate on this platform, or do you think it's love? Put a 1 in the chat if you think I'm doing love. Put a 2 if you think it's hate. All right, because I want to help these MAGA demons understand what this is about. This is really about love. All right, Tiny Tank Top, Tim, Tom, whatever your name is. Do you see the results? Do you see the results? You see that? It's not hate, it's facts and truth. So, he goes by the handle, Your Majesty. Please get professional help. Go to betterhelp.com and sign up for real help, all right? I can't help you figure this out. No one in here believes you. It's actually the opposite. Most of us believe it is you and your friends on this app that are going around promoting evil, hatred, misogyny, bigotry, racism, false teachings in the Bible. It's actually you. And you know what I say? Every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession. Do you get this? So please stop coming into my live and asking silly questions. If you're an adult, act like one. All right? You look older than me. So act like you actually been on this planet long enough to understand how things work. For goodness sake. Now, you might not be as intelligent as me, but act like you got some common sense. Tiny Tank Top Tim. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? Ooh. All righty then. Who do we got next? Who's next? He's 25. All right. Good morning, PA. Good morning, PA. How are you doing?
Good morning, Zeus. I just wanted to come on and congratulate you for being on MSNBC again. That is twice. And I know that you have nowhere to go but up. Telling the truth always leads to good places.
Thank you.
That's what you do. You do that every day. And these MAGA demons out here are constantly crying that you are you are dragging them, but they don't like to hear the truth. And somebody needs to tell them the truth, right?
Yeah.
Because they listen to Trump. And I wanted to tell you too yesterday.
Thank you.
I went into this. Yes, thank you for being out here and doing what you do.
It's mighty humbling, to be honest. You know, as much as I put it out there and push it, it's really a humbling thing because you never know what or who you might have an impact on, right? You just kind of got to get out here and do what you feel and believe is right. And so it's definitely a humbling experience. I'll say that. But yeah, you were in a live. You said
I was in a live yesterday with some MAGA demons, right? And the host was saying that he goes from rally to rally and that he's been to like 15 of them. And so in the comments, I said that it's the same people showing up at these rallies, right? So their numbers, and somebody was saying to me, that's not true. That's not true. And I said, are you even listening to the host?
Yeah.
He's telling you, right?
He himself is saying he's going to every rally.
Right, exactly. And they're there listening, but not listening,
Yeah.
believing that these people are, somehow he's bringing these large crowds that they have to use fake photos. It was the same as I live in DC, right? So when his inauguration happened, there was no one here. I went to Obama's, you could not even move. You could not, it was shoulder to shoulder. Could not even move.
Wow.
And then, when Trump was elected, there was no one there. Like literally there were bleachers and they were empty. There was like nobody there.
Yeah.
And it was eerie. It was weird.
Yeah.
So he's not getting those crowds.
He has
going to the Bronx.
Tell him about it. Tell us about it
Talking about Latinos or like he's benefiting them somehow. It's such a lie. It's an absolute lie.
Isn't it interesting that he was talking about how does there was a moment during his speech, I didn't get to watch all of it, but he on one hand is trying to get more Hispanics, right, and blacks, but then on the other side he clearly has no issue demonizing them, right?
No, yeah, he calls them, on the one hand he says animals poisoning the bloodlines and all of that.
Tell him. I hear the pooch in the back. He's angry.
He tries to turn us on each other. That's what he tries to do with Latinos, with all minorities. He tries to turn us on each other, but it's not going to work. We see right through him.
We see. Tell him. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. I mean, but it does speak something, for the Latinos that are on this app and the blacks that are on this app, right? I mean, what would you say they need to really do in order to come out of this situation they're in, where they're literally going against their best interests by promoting Donald Trump? Because it's almost like they don't understand this.
They don't understand it, and what they need to do is start paying attention to how people vote. They need to start paying attention to what's actually happening. When they say, "Oh, Obama did nothing," Obama put a Latina on the Supreme Court, and thank God that she's there. And he also created DACA. DACA is there because of Obama and Biden. Bingo. And they don't disrespect our community like Trump does.
Bingo.
Trump constantly disrespects our community, and then he wants us to believe lies. So before anyone believes anything that comes out of his mouth, because he just says anything, whatever comes to his mind. I had the best economy. I was the best for Latinos. Right? And nobody fact checks him. So if you want to know the truth, you need to look at what's actually happening, not what comes out of his mouth. Everything he says is a lie. That whole speech was a lie.
Yeah.
Tell them. The people that were there, they're not people from the Bronx. They were people from Staten Island. Then they interviewed people from around the Bronx, and they were like, what is he even doing here? We don't like him here.
Wow.
It's all fake. All of it is fake.
You're right. You're right. Well, thank you,
PA. Keep telling the truth. Keep doing what you're doing. There is so much growth happening thanks to you. There's so much change happening thanks to you.
Thank you.
And people are noticing, and I bet they're watching too. I bet Trump's people watch your live.
Yeah, because he's starting to change. He changes the color of his tie, and I said, wait a second. He must have heard me getting on him about that same red tie and that
That
crumpled.
blue suit looks
Yeah.
like a little onesie to me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just a one piece. He zips in the back just like a clown suit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? You're right, PA. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right.
And
Happy Memorial
congratulations
Day to
again.
you. All right. I don't know what you're going to
All
be doing
right.
on Memorial Day, but if I don't check in with you then, happy Memorial Day. All right. Seriously.
Same to you and
All
same
right.
to everyone.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give PA a round of applause. All right. You know, this show, ladies and gentlemen, quiet as it is kept, it really is the voice of the country, if you ask me, because even though I give MAGA the business, it doesn't mean I don't allow Trump supporters that are respectful to come up here and actually speak on whatever it is that they're talking about. And I think it's time for more of this to continue to get out there. And it's not just me. There's other content creators out here as well that are helping keep the conversation going. But I'll say this about you Trump supporters, all right? You all really do need to do some soul searching and really start to assess at what point do you need to hit the eject button when it comes to Donald Trump. All right, because we're not going to sit back and let him sneak into the White House again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to actually do more to hold him accountable. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, my good friend G-Man. My man. How you doing, man? Long time no see.
No time. I got crazy work schedule still, Joe.
Okay.
Okay. I'm from up there.
Okay, speak on it.
The Cortona Park. I saw the
Liddy, thank you for the subscription. Yes.
Before he make that speech, it was not just a few. I say at least few hundred around, probably the same old faces around the park.
Oh.
You know, he tried to follow like both Jimmy Carter and Reagan, because I was growing up at that time. Both of those former presidents went down urban decay in the South Bronx back in the 70s during New York City bankruptcy. I was a youngster back then.
Right. Okay.
Fast forward to now, better security for, Secret Service and all this.
Yeah.
It's all fake. It was not as big. You guys seen few people up there in the past, so-called.
So wait a second. You're saying that crowd wasn't that big?
Not at all.
Wow.
Not at all. And why they have in the park anyway? If he was really a tough guy like they claim to be, you should go to ride, a lion's den.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm from up there. We know about that draft out to be getting from Queens, But the plain story short, this is Memorial Day that people make the ultimate sacrifice for this country. I'm a veteran here.
Thank you for your service. Derek Adams, thank you for the subscription.
And knowing what this country has done to us, your ancestors, my ancestors being Puerto Rican, everybody who know how to trust this country has some dirt to towards their own citizens.
Right.
I'm sworn in to defend the U.S. Constitution against all enemies, foreign, domestic.
Foreign and
it doesn't and unlike Trump, we try to tell you about Trump since 2016. This former New Yorker and current New Yorker try to tell you that draft out the from Queens, pulled us 45 from the get-go, all his atrocities. But they don't want to hear it, man. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. But I'm going to say this for the Latinos that's supporting him. I'm going to give you a word of advice. Georgia, Brian Kemp, sneaky butt Kemp, passed the law similar like Texas, get an easy profile, make an excuse, easy profile that looks like me with foreign accent, regardless U.S. citizen or not, held us up some fake AAS charges.
Yeah.
Find out undocumented. If they're undocumented, call the ICE. They're gonna make it easier profile against us. At the same time, he passed a law trying to take away the Secretary of the State job for the voting, make it easier to contest the voting results doesn't favor.
Wow.
So the second part's going to court. But see, this Latinos, this is what they think about you, just like expendable like a chewing tobacco. They spit you out the gutter, you don't know. Just saying. But I'm gonna cut it short. My man. Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be part of your crew.
Thank you.
Be creative like yourself, BJ, and keep the fight, man.
Thank you.
I learned a lot of stuff from y'all.
Well, I appreciate you.
A month from now, I'll be 6-0.
You don't look it. But come on here. Make sure when it's your birthday, you come here. We sing happy birthday to you. You know how we do. We take care of family over here, all right?
I want for my birthday wishes. Prevent anybody like local, state, and federal. Vote them out. Peace, everybody.
We definitely gonna do that, G man. All right, and thank you for your service. We will make sure we vote Donald J. Trump.
You're a patriot in my book. Everybody who's fighting against fascism, you're all true patriots. That's all.
Hey, I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let's give G man a round of applause. No lies detected. You see, MAGA, the support that we have as Democrats is larger than it's ever been. We don't need to have large rallies to actually show that we actually know how to get the job done. That's a trick Donald Trump uses on you. But if you pay attention and you look around, you'll see that there is a united force of folks in this country that feel the exact same way as we do. Some of them are Republicans. You don't even know it. Some are independents and others are Democrats. We all understand that there's just absolutely no way on God's green earth we will ever allow Donald J. Trump and his criminal behavior to be in charge of this country ever again. You think we could trust him with another pandemic? Do you think we can trust Donald Trump with another pandemic after we saw him destroy the pandemic playbook? All right, well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We don't got many more guests. So you know what we're going to do. For those of you who don't understand why Donald Trump won't get reelected, you know what I got to do. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. The number one, there's reasons why Donald Trump won't get elected, and I have those reasons here, but, and I'll read them in just a second. Oh, look at that. Shay said she could come up here and speak some good words to the kingdom. All right. Come on, Shay. Come on up. Hey, sometimes work is easy, and I just get it. You let me off easy, all right? Sometimes.
Oh, no, I won't take much of your time. I was listening and getting ready for work, so I was trying to decide if I'll pop in, but... You got a little space, that's fine. And, it's funny to me when I look at all of this. East Texas, Lee, he's just a confused man. You
think so? You think You think he's salvageable in any capacity?
Not really. He lives in East Texas. Went to school in East Texas. I went to university there in Nacogdoches. And he lives in those parts, and he lives in he likes the way things have always been and the way he grew up, right? So, like when you grow up in a place like Houston, like I did, in a conservative family, but then you're surrounded by all kinds of different people and cultures and things like that. You're surrounded by a wide variety of things that kind of open your mind to things. So when you live in a small town community, you just like the way things were and you reflect on those things. And then when you see things that aren't the same, the way that you grew up, the way the town hall looked, the way the little main street looks, the way that, different things are happening. You don't like it. It's like they're reminiscing kind of people. Like, in the day.
It sounds like they refuse to evolve.
Right, it is that. And they don't want to evolve. They just want what it is. I go to the lumber store and get my lumber. I go to the post office and mail my. It's like, well, there's email now. It's just. Yeah. It's like they miss the good old days.
He wants to be in third grade the rest of his life.
Yeah.
East Texas, cut it out, bro.
And it is interesting because just for a second, I grew up in a very small town in Texas called Tomball, Texas, and we had Friday night lights and everybody went to the football games and the superintendent attended our pep rallies. Everybody went to pep rallies and there's times when I reflect on those things. So then when I became a history teacher at a high school, it was literally didn't even have a senior class. It was brand new, right? And so I remember the kids not wanting to go to pep rallies and things like that. And I'm like, man, that's kind of sad, you know? And so, I get it, but life moves on. Things move on,
Yes.
These are now we have 12 huge high schools in this district that I taught in. And
good.
It's not the same where I grew up, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And so you have to evolve, but Lee's not going to evolve because he's still in the same town he grew up in, right?
Texas, can you get out of the town you're in if you can? We would love to see that.
He
All right.
has no desire.
We got. Did you get a call, Shay?
No, I don't know what that was. Got some like accessory not supported. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Apologize. But no, Lee's going to be where he's going to be, and you know, as he's described to you, he's handicapped, right? So
I didn't know that.
He lives in his family home and all of that and stuff like that. So he's doing the best he can, you know, and that's okay, and that's just where his frame of thinking is, and that's, like I said, we accept that. The problem is, Lee, is like you just need to accept us too.
Can you do that, Lee?
Just accept us as well. You know, it's the thing that you've just got to embrace other thoughts and other things. Things aren't being taken away. We had a huge discussion about the 2A, right?
Yeah.
And his thing is he wants to be able to trade a gun for a tractor. Like you know, in the old days, you know, that's what you did.
Yeah.
You sold your goods to get goods.
Yeah,
and
bartering.
So with 2A laws and things like that, he said, I just, you know, I don't want to be restricted if I want to trade my, you know, shotgun for a couple of shovels or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know? And we really did talk about it. And the border. Come on, Lee, you're not affected by the border at all. You're in East Texas.
Oh,
you know, like you're not affected by it. I live in Houston. Like, come on, man.
Lee, you can do better than corn.
You're not
Lee.
raising children. You're not like none of that stuff is affecting you. So why are you worried about things that aren't literally affecting you?
Yeah,
that's what I'll never understand.
He's probably benefiting from migrants more than he realizes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really is. But again, it's changing the dynamics of a small town, and they just don't, you know, they don't like it. So that's what I really see in people like Lee, and he's far from the only one. And like I said, I accept who he is. I understand.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just time to get on with the program, Lee.
Time to evolve, Lee.
That things are changing. The world is changing, and it's okay.
All right. I agree.
You know, we use cell phones today. Lee, we're not using rotary phones. Like, come on, man. Just let's go. It's okay. You'll be okay, Lee. I promise. You'll be all right.
We will help you, Lee, get out of this nasty cult that you're in, but you got to be willing. You really do. Listen, Shay,
you want me to talk about the Great Purge of the 30s?
Oh. Yeah, he might need you to help him understand that. Yeah.
I mean, I can. I don't want to take Lee's. Maybe another time I can talk about Joseph Stalin's Great Purge in the 1930s, but I don't want to take that time now. That's a long, convoluted thing. But yeah, not a good thing. Lots of people. Everybody thinks that Schmittler was the one that killed a lot of people or had a lot of people unalived. Mm-hmm. Stalin was worse. He was almost triple the amount.
Wow.
In that Great Purge, yeah.
And Donald Trump, he worshipped both of them.
Oh yeah, he loves the authoritarian figures. Absolutely loves them and worships them. It's disgusting.
It is.
He wants that kind of power. Like it's it's disgusting.
He's a maniac.
Gloves off, hands off. No constitution, no rules restricting him. No DOJ holding him accountable. They don't want any of that.
Exactly.
I'll leave you a question with this. How is that American, ladies and gentlemen?
Doozy, how's it American?
Our founding fathers want that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you, Shay. I appreciate it. And thank you for coming up and helping to keep the show going.
You guys
all right?
have a wonderful day, and congrats, my friend. I'm so glad you're getting the attention you deserve on our mainstream medias.
Hey, thank you. I couldn't do it without all of you. So folks like you are helping to make it possible.
You're awesome, man. All right, keep it up.
All right.
Everybody have a great day in the kingdom.
All right, and happy Memorial Day if I don't check.
Yes, happy Memorial Day to all that have served, please. Absolutely. This is our memory of those that have fallen. Remember that. Veterans Day is for all that have served. Memorial Day are for all those that have fallen.
Amen.
So God bless all of them and their families and Gold Star families.
All right. Stay safe out there.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye,
you too.
everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies detected. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing out here is helping people see the light. All right, East Texas. All right. What is it? what is it? Texas?
Yeah, man. What's up?
You sent another guest request. Is there something that I can help you with?
Yeah, I'd just like to rebut. I mean, like Miss Shea, as nice as she is, acts like that I've never left my county. I mean, I graduated high school from Garrett, Indiana.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So I
good job.
also spent 3 years living on fort in Fort Polk through Desert Storm.
Okay. All
I
right.
got I've
So you
got
were in the
four.
services. You were in the services.
No, I wasn't. My stepdad was. I was an
Oh.
army brat.
Okay. 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 All right. Well, thank your
And
stepdad for his services. All right. What else? Do you
I'm
would you consider
I'm not
yourself a
just some
patriot?
regular old I'm not just some old regular country bumpkin. Don't get me wrong, I'm a hick. But I've been around. I've seen some things. I
Yeah.
haven't just been to my county. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Indianapolis. I've been to Memphis. I've been all of them places.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You ever been like New York area? You been to the California areas?
Nope, never been in New York or California. I've been all the way up between
What
from
is
Houston, Texas to Detroit, Michigan, and everywhere in between those locations.
But what? So okay. So with that understanding, then, so what are your opinion about democratic cities? Then, do you think they're good or bad?
Democrat cities or Republican cities, it doesn't matter because
Okay.
I've been to both, and that there's some that's nice and there's some that's not nice. I
Okay.
mean, like Chicago is was a whole lot different than it is now.
Okay. Okay.
Memphis,
Okay. So what is your issue with the Democrats then? I'm a little confused because it seems like you understand there's good and bad everywhere you go. So what's the issue with Democrats then? I don't get it.
the issue with Democrats is that no one wants to look at their party and think that, man, my party might be a screw up. So Zeus, I'll tell you, if
You,
Trump's guilty, put him in jail.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna say I don't think that's true though about the Democrat Party. I think sometimes we do it too much to the point
No.
where, in a way, it's like we're demanding too much out of one person, right? Compared to the Republican Party, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think I'll be able to change your opinion about that in this morning show. But you're telling me that if Donald Trump is convicted, you're okay with him going to prison.
Yes.
Does that mean you won't vote for him though?
Yeah, man, I'm going to vote for RFK if Donald Trump is convicted. If Donald Trump's in prison, I'm going to vote for
No.
RFK.
What if he's convicted but they give him house arrest?
It don't matter.
You'll jump off that Trump train.
I'm not on the Trump train, Zeus.
Well, you're gonna vote for him now, right? Without
Yeah,
the conviction.
I'm going to vote for red. I mean, I would vote for Nikki Haley if Nikki Haley had won the nomination.
Okay, so you're saying Donald Trump wasn't your first candidate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so with that being said, you're gonna vote red. Why? What is it about the Republican Party that just makes you feel like this is the right party, considering
It's
their track record?
it's not. And neither is the blue party. That's the problem, Zeus. Is that we sit here and just dehumanize each other on each side, you red and blue. Okay, and we never sit down and have an actual general conversation.
Well, I've been trying to have a general conversation for quite a while, but the thing is, when we start pressing, folks like yourself for the information that we've been hearing you say, we just don't end up getting it, right? For instance, if I were to ask you an honest question like, do you think Joe Biden is guilty of any crimes? What would your answer be?
I would say yes.
Okay, do you have any evidence?
Sure. Whenever in 2013, there's video of Joe Biden and he's sitting on a stage with three gentlemen, and he's talking about a $1 billion deal to Ukraine, and he states that if you're not gonna fire the investigator, then you're not getting the money.
But for the sort.
So
No,
see, you
listen,
cut
listen,
me off.
listen.
Let me have the conversation, Zeus. Let me have the
Okay, you
conversation.
got a little bit more time because you've been very respectful of Zeus today. I'll give you a
Thank
little
you,
more time.
Zeus.
All
Thank you.
right. I'm a fair person, all right, but I'm going to push back on this, all right, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to tell you where I'm going before you finish up.
Go
If
ahead.
the evidence you have was credible, then you would then have to also be able to explain why they haven't moved forward with the impeachment in the House.
Because they can't move forward with it. I mean, they just had an impeachment on Mayorkas, and then all of a sudden it died in the Senate. As soon as it got there, they didn't even. The Senate has they have an obligation whenever they're sending an impeachment to hold that trial. They wouldn't even hold the trial, and so that's not fair, Zeus. They had that obligation, and you know that.
I can't, Texas, because even if they knew he wasn't going to get convicted, when Nancy Pelosi was, Speaker, we still ended up impeaching Donald Trump twice.
Yep.
Even though we knew the Senate wasn't going to convict. So
Did the Senate hold a trial?
Huh?
Did the Senate hold a trial during Donald Trump's impeachment? Yes. Did the Senate hold a trial for Mayorkas whenever he was impeached?
Texas,
no.
I get it, no. But here's the thing. If they had the evidence, and this is just me, I'm not the expert, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just looking at this as an American. If they had solid evidence that Joe Biden committed high crimes, all right, then I believe that the hate for Joe Biden is so real out here on both sides that I honestly believe they would have did it anyway. And they would have said, you know what? If the Senate doesn't do it, that's on them. I personally believe that.
Why is it that both sides hate the president?
No, I'm just speaking from how I'm talking. So can you
I understand, but that statement that you just said, why does both sides hate the president?
I'll get to that, but I want to start with this dirt on Joe Biden thing. So for the sake of this show, can you at least admit you have no dirt on Joe Biden that's credible? It's okay to have these suspicions. It's okay to be suspicious, but for the sake of this show, can't you just say, you know what, Zeus, you're right. I don't have any dirt that Joe Biden's a criminal, and I need to cut out spreading that. Because that's where we're at. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume you're just spreading the lies that Trump told you to spread.
I told you, Zeus. It's right there for everyone to see. I mean, it's what you want to make of it. I mean, like if you want to look at chocolate pudding and say it's something else, then go ahead.
Okay, how about this? And then I'll move on. Are you willing to admit that Donald Trump might just be a criminal then? Because we got evidence, with those 88 felony charges, right?
Sure, exactly. And that brings up a great point, Zeus. When I've been looking all over, and I cannot find where a Jack Smith trial starts.
Wait a second. Let's just take a second and pause for a second. Joe Biden has how many felony charges?
0.
How many does Donald Trump have?
91.
Well,
wait a second. 88. Yeah, 91.
88.
It was 91, and then like some of those went away.
So Texas, I'm just speaking from an average American standpoint. If I were to roll the dice and say which of these two most likely might be a criminal, I would say Donald Trump is. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to get into the meat and potatoes about it, but for the sake of this conversation, could you at least go on record and say you also believe Donald Trump is guilty of crimes? Because you already said you believe Joe Biden is. Knowing Donald Trump has 88 felony charges, could you at least, before I move on, say you're right, Zeus? He has 88 felony charges. I think he's also guilty of crime. You got to be consistent, bro. Do it for
in the United States, you're deemed innocent until proven guilty.
All right,
Donald Trump is liable for E. Jean Carroll, but he has no criminal convictions, and that's the truth, Zeus.
Okay,
I'll let you go, man.
All
and
right,
I hope you have a great day, Zeus.
Okay, I do too. But before you go, I just want you to really work on that position that you're holding, and go look in the mirror and tell yourself, say, hey, Texas, I see Donald Trump's 88 felony charges, and I think he's innocent. I don't see Joe Biden's, but I think he's guilty.
I think both of them have different treatment, Zeus.
I didn't ask about that. Just go tell yourself.
You're not allowed to talk about your side, only my side.
No, But your argument was Democrats don't hold their side accountable, but it looks like that's what you're not doing on your side. You're not holding Donald Trump accountable, Texas, all right?
Donald Trump is in a court system right now. And
I know.
he is innocent until he is
Nope.
proven guilty.
Okay, but we're talking
And
about
so
your logic.
whenever they
Jesus
come
Christ.
through with this trial, yeah, Jesus Christ, amen. Whenever they come with this
Texas,
whenever
I gotta
they start
go.
deliberating,
I gotta go. Okay, listen. You've already torn your jaws with me this morning multiple times, but I heard you out because you've been very, respectful of Zeus. But I gotta go because I can't allow any more lies to be spread on this platform. All right.
booze and shame, buddy. Hey,
Bye,
all
Texas.
to you, buddy.
Bye, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving East Texas what he deserves. He's respectful, but you know what? He's still a liar. Your logic doesn't make any sense, bro. Thank you for being respectful, though.
Silence! You Mac
Texas, I'm just going to be honest with you. I can't go with you any longer down that path because in your world, right is left and left is right. Down is up, up is down. That's an inverse reality. You live in a world where we call it's the fallacy of inverse reasoning. All right? You're going to sit up here and try to convince me you believe Joe Biden is guilty of crimes. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go down that path. You have no evidence, but you believe he's guilty. Great. Now, we got evidence with Donald Trump, and you saying, oh, he's innocent until proven guilty. Your logic just doesn't, it just doesn't hold up, all right? And that's why I'm asking you to go tell yourself that in the mirror. Actually, get your phone out, record yourself saying that, and then play it back. Seriously. Because maybe you're not hearing yourself, you're not seeing yourself, and you're not understanding how this sounds to a thinking person, all right? It's not about Democrat or Republican. This is really about common sense, folks, all right? Let's move it along. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. All right, oh my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Nutty, how are you doing? Nutty, Professor, good morning, how are you doing? Nutty, are you there? Going once? Going twice? I can hear you now. Well, those you must be on that MAGA Wi-Fi, Nutty. You must be on that MAGA Wi-Fi. Jesus Christ. Wait a second. Shay, you want to come back and do a quick response, a quick rebuttal to Texas? Because he did say that he wanted to review what you were saying. You want to be quick and tell us what you were thinking?
Sure. So, yeah, Lee, what I know about you, because we've had lots of conversations, you can visit other cities, right? I have visited here and all that, and you grew up in an Army brat as a kid, but your all adult life, you've lived in a small Texas rural town, right? You can travel, right? But that doesn't mean you've lived anywhere else as an adult. I know that about you.
Got it.
I didn't mean to come across that you've just stayed in your little house your entire life and you're afraid to go out. I never said any of that. Okay. It's where you have stayed and lived. Traveling is one thing. Living elsewhere is another thing. That's all. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
And I like I said, he's a sweet guy, but he's a lost cause. You know, he's been told his whole life that Democrats are not just like I was. Democrats are, criminals and they just want to live on the government and they're lazy and entitled and all of that. That's how I grew up too, and that's how he grew up, right?
Yep.
And especially if you grew up as an Army brat, he grew up in a very conservative ideals, right? So that's all that is, and that's okay, and he can't break out of it. It's hard for him.
It is. All right, Shay.
He's going to vote red no matter what. And listen, we got people on our side that going to vote blue no matter what. I get it. It's politics.
Yeah.
Right? It's politics. But it is something that we just are trying to get people to understand that, Trump is not a conservative, right? He's not a Republican. He's not a Christian. So what you're voting for in the presidential box, I'll never understand. I really don't.
Me either.
Vote red down the ballot because I know 2A is important to you. And but it just, that's fine that you want to go after RFK. That's fine, or whatever. But the guy with the worm in his head. Okay.
Tell him, Shay.
But again, there's no proof that Biden has committed any crimes. If they had it, they would have impeached him. You know that. You have to know that.
Exactly.
Impeachment is a political process. It would have looked good on their behalf if they could have gotten it done, but they didn't do it. They can't do it. There's no proof. There's
exactly.
no proof. So.
All right.
Anyway. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. But yep. All right, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get chat. Great exchange. You too. Great exchange between Shay and East Texas Lee. There's a MAGA demon out there, and I wanted to check their temperature. They said, "I love being in the MAGA clan." I need you to unpack that. All right, so. Whoever that MAGA demon was that said they love to be in the MAGA clan, please put a little meat on the bone and please provide information about this clan, all right? Because I would hate to think it's the clan that I'm thinking about, all right? I mean, these Trump supporters have no problem showing their hatred, their bigotry, and their racism this morning. What on earth is going on? Good morning, Nutty. Are you there? I'm going to try it again. Nutty, are you there? Oh, Dino, this isn't about Trump bashing. This is about telling the truth to the American people. Oh, Dino, this isn't about... Nutty, Nutty, you got some nasty MAGA connection. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm so sorry. No, Tina, we're not salty, but it's nice to see you here getting a little more exposure to this truth, Tina, all right? I really do hope you come out of that fog this morning, all right? Good morning, Ange. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. I don't sound well. We've got to get this
better.
Yes, it is a little bit better. But Texas kind of threw me off. Gosh dang it! I had something to say, but now he's throwing me off. Texas, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You come into my live and you're so respectful. I will give him that. He's just very misguided. I'm just going to go with misguided.
He's misguided. Perhaps he's been in a couple of those fake TikTok host lives, and he's drinking the Kool-Aid.
I would say so, Zeus. And again, congratulations. I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. When you do get your own show on MSNBC, I'm hoping...
Oh my gosh, man, you're cracking me up.
I'm hoping I can be one of your guests.
Oh, you know, they call you one of the minions.
I'm one of the top minions, okay? Because
hilarious.
I am called a minion multiple times. Apparently, I'm not a free thinker. I only think like Zeus, just because I align with a lot of. But anyway, he was talking about impeachments and all of that. That's, what did he say? Never mind, because he's going to try to turn it naughty. Anyway, all of these impeachments and stuff, it's just it's political theater.
Yeah.
That's all it has ever been, So they're talking about Mayorkas. You knew it was just going to die unalive or whatever over in the Senate, But I want to talk about a MAGA demon, okay?
You got another one? You got another MAGA demon?
Have you ever had a woman named The Truth? Have you ever had her?
I don't think so.
I don't think I had either, and she was one of the worst I've ever had or talked to. She came in this morning with this kind of soft, sweet voice, but I could tell because I'm Zeus. I'm good at this. I can feel it. I'm like this. So anyway, her problem was trans women using the same bathroom as women. That was her big issue.
Wow, really?
She was upset about that. But Zeus, here's the thing: she was not upset about women having their bodily autonomy taken away.
Wow.
Is that not just mind blowing?
Priorities all over the place.
It's crazy. So I kind of framed it that way with her. I said, so I was like. So a trans woman uses the bathroom, and I don't know about you, Zeus, but I would use the bathroom. I don't even make eye contact with anybody. I'm doing my thing. I got to go to the bathroom. Make sure you wash your hands, everybody.
Yeah.
And wash your hands, and you get right back out.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand the problem with this. So we talked about that, and you're so concerned with what's in between people's legs. It's really gross, you guys. Like, let's think about this for a second. What are you doing, even being worried about that? Go in there and do your number one, number two, wash your hands, get out. I just don't understand. So then when I talked to her about, okay, so you're all upset about that, but you're not upset about Trump talking about, wanting a federal abortion ban, 15 weeks, whatever. He's flip flopped on that so many
Yeah.
times. He's
Yeah.
such a flip flopper. So
He
I say
is.
that, and she said, "Oh, you framed that so nicely. You made it sound so nice." I said, "Because it's facts. It's literally, it's just facts.
Yeah.
What does it take away from us, Zeus, if a trans woman uses the same bathroom? What does it take
Nothing.
away? And
Nothing.
why don't they talk about the other side? Why don't they talk about a trans man using the men's bathroom? Why are they never talking about that? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. These are some hypocrites like we've never seen before. They don't see the error in their logic, and this is the problem with MAGA. They don't see the error in their logic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the party of hypocrisy. That's all they are, is the party of hypocrisy. But I'm not even going to use up my 3 minutes. I'm going to let you go.
All right.
But anyway, congratulations again, and
Thank you.
everybody have a happy Memorial Day. I never know if to say happy because of what it stands for.
Yeah,
But,
I just say happy
anyway,
as well, though.
yes.
A lot of
Okay.
people. I mean, I don't know. I could be politically
And just
incorrect.
remember, guys, it's not about having that day off. It's not about just, please, when you have that day off, remember what it's really about.
Amen.
Okay, so y'all have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right, you too. All right, and I'll see you out here in these TikTok streets.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Angela a round of applause. No lies detected. Yeah, about the bathroom. You know what I say? When you're at home, ladies and gentlemen, do any of you have signs on your bathroom at home that say men or women? Who out there at their house has a sign that says men's bathroom or women's bathroom at their home? Who out here does that? I don't do that. Does anyone out there put men and women signs on their bathroom? So chances are, if you're at home, probably whoever is in the bathroom first gets to use it. And that's what I say. You know what? Let's just end this whole conversation. Everyone, only one person in the bathroom at a time. As far as I'm concerned, everyone's suspicious. It don't matter what you got going on. One person in the bathroom at a time. They should just make every bathroom like that so that this is not even an issue. I don't want nobody in there when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, because, these folks be out here. These are some sick folks trying to get a free look. You ain't nothing but some sick, nasty individuals. One bathroom, one person. End of conversation. I don't care what's going on. No one needs to be in the audience to what you are doing in the bathroom. This is a waste of people's time and money. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I know folks don't like it when I get on my little soapbox, but sometimes you got to do it. All right, good morning, my partner in crime. It's Boss Hey, how are you?
Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
Yes,
you know how we do.
Yes. To the end of another week. And
right.
So next week is going to be, lit because we got Mr. Trump. We got him on the hook with the jury.
Yeah, the closing arguments, right? And then they got to deliberate. Oh, yeah, it's the countdown for that behind, because you know what I say, jail will do a brother some good.
I think so. Because
it'll do some good, won't it?
Yes, it will. And that's why I wanted to come up here after that Texas dude, because, I want him to understand there's only one of the two that we voting for that's in a courtroom right now. Well, not right now, because it's not court right now, but it has been in a courtroom being held accountable for what he's done with Stormy Daniels and cooking his books and doing all these things that are against the law. Okay. There is evidence that has been presented against him in said matter. So, I don't see Joe Biden in a courtroom. Do you see Joe Biden in a courtroom? Does anybody see Joe Biden in a courtroom of any kind?
Nope, I don't
Even
see
for
Joe.
a traffic ticket.
Nope.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right,
Yeah,
I'm not
I've
alone.
never
Okay.
I've never seen Joe Biden in a courtroom having to defend himself against any crimes.
Yeah, which leads me to the fact that he will be convicted.
Yeah,
He will be convicted, right? Which is good. Okay, he might not do, jail time, whatever,
don't matter.
per se.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he will be convicted. And now, so I'm going to smooth my way on in because I was reading about Fonnie Willis still at work.
Oh,
Okay,
we got some
still at
Fonnie
work.
Willis news. You got some Fonnie?
Absolutely, because she's appealing the judge's decision to dismiss those counts.
Oh.
In the election.
Yeah, and get it back up to 91. She want to get back up to 91.
She want to get it back up to 91, baby. You know what I'm talking about? And she had and so she's still doing her thing. She's still working in the
Hallelujah.
Okay, so
let's go.
Okay, so when it does come time, because he will be in front of another judge in another courtroom.
Yeah.
And Fonnie Willis is the prosecutor. And it is going to be on TV.
Oh.
For everybody. Everybody, say with me.
Everybody. Yeah.
Okay. So now,
she right.
He's already going to be convicted by then, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be convicted now. So when he go to court again, he will have that conviction he didn't have this time.
He'll have that spirit of conviction on him.
Right. You know, that little asterisk. Bling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not an innocent person in this courtroom. He's already been convicted, jury.
So he's going to come into the next case that he got to face with a conviction.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
So shout out to my girl, Fonnie Willis.
Tell him, Miss
Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean, it worked out in her favor. And then when she get ready to try, it's going to be a different flavor.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you for having me up, Zeus. You know, much love to you, baby.
All righty then.
TikTok streets, and congratulations on being on being featured again on that.
I know, right? Show. Right. That's pretty impressive, right? Let's go.
Very impressive, sir.
We on our way, Miss.
And I already know that you go all the way up, baby, all the way up.
Well, we'll see. It just tells you that there's other people looking at what's happening out here on these TikTok streets, and you got to be careful out there. All right.
You darn tootin'.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, Zeus. Much love to you, baby.
All right. Much love to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Miss Boss Diva. Note lies detector. Yeah. Christian Rodriguez. I'm not upset about anything. I'm actually kind of happy. I'm happy that Donald Trump is on his way to being convicted, and a good chunk of the people who are supporting him are going to start to look for someone else to support because they don't want to vote for a convicted felon. I'm happy. All right, so don't make no mistake. All right, and this live this is not a Trump bashing live. This is all love, baby. Let you know how it is. All right, let's move it along. All right. Who do we got next? Shanika, good morning. How are you doing? Shanika, are you there?
Hello, good morning. I'm here.
Hey, welcome back. How are you doing?
How are you, Zeus?
Yes, I'm all right. Just doing the best we can, right? It's a Friday.
Right.
So
I just wanted to say something to Republicans, and I don't mean MAGA, because MAGA is far gone.
Okay.
You can't help them.
Fair enough.
So, for the Republicans who are kind of on the fence and don't know which way to go, I just want to give you some insight. So, when you're trying to look at things, Donald Trump is a fear monger. That's how he gets out to his audience. He tells you what to not like, what to hate, what to fear. My take is, if it doesn't immediately impact you, you get up and you go to your job. Who stops you from that?
Yeah.
You use that money from job to pay bills, to buy food, to buy clothing. Who stops you from that? That is your immediate life. If somebody stops that, that is who you should dislike or have a problem with.
Correct.
Not people that just tell you, hey, don't like these people. They have nothing to do with it. So I say, when you're looking at what to follow, start with that first, and
Right.
then you go over to the policies. Look
Yep.
at the policies. You can go to, I think it's whitehouse.gov, and look at everything that they vote on.
Yeah.
Democrats are voting to feed the kids, to raise the minimum wage. Republicans are trying to raise the retirement age. These things affect you. We are trying to help veterans. Republicans voted against helping veterans. We are lowering medical prices, um, bringing women's rights to the forefront. We
Yep.
care about people. So if you want to say we care about the American people and the American public, then that's what you should be looking for. You don't have to
Exactly.
take anybody's word or anybody's information. You can go look it up for yourself. Figure out
Amen.
what's important to you, find it on the list, who
Yep.
voted against it, who voted
Amen.
for it. It is that simple. Stop listening to everybody tell you it's eggs, gas, food is high. Learn what inflation is and what causes inflation, so you'll stop saying that. My
Yep.
last point
Get them. Get them.
my last point, if you really want to think about it, think, how can everybody in the world be against one man? In his mind, he thinks everybody's against him, and that's what he feeds to everybody. But a lot of those people he says are against him are people he hired. A lot of
Yeah.
people that work for him, that he brought in, judges that he brought in. But now they're all corrupt because they go against him. Think in your mind, how does that make sense? That everybody's against that one person. If you can do all of these things, then you can find yourself on the right side of actually caring about the American people.
Yeah. Think of it like this, Shanika. Are you? Have you ever been invited to any meetings where the subject was all about how to conspire against Donald Trump? Have you ever been invited to any of those kind of meetings?
No, and I was in the military for 22 years. We
Well,
don't conspire.
okay, thank you for your service. All right, but
Thank you.
and it's sad that I gotta ask a question like that, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it's out here. We got to put it out here in the open that it doesn't work like that.
It
You and
does not.
I, the reason that folks like you and I and a lot of other people come to these same conclusions is because when you look at the evidence, it puts you in a situation where you and I are able to have these kind of conversation and discuss the facts.
Yes.
This is not a secret Democrat meeting going on behind the scenes with me and all these other people on TikTok. This is just us understanding what's really going on.
Exactly. That's how you care for everybody.
Amen. Amen. All right. Well, listen, Shanika, I appreciate you. All right. And thank you
You
so,
have a
so much.
great
Have a great
weekend.
Memorial Day as well. All
You
right.
too.
Stay
Thank
safe
you.
out there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Shanika a round of applause. No lies detected. Oh my goodness, look at the time, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, have we entered uncharted territory. All right, Bamba, long time no see. Bamba, how are
Good
you?
morning.
Good morning, long time no see.
It's beautiful today.
Oh wow, well that's good. That's good. All right. Well, listen,
Yeah.
what's been going on lately? Any
Oh,
updates? Any updates
uh,
on the Ukraine and
it's going
Russia?
so Ukraine is just annihilating Crimea. They're
Oh,
taking out these huge um radar.
okay.
Yeah, so they
Good.
took out they found one on the highest mountain and took it out. Then they found one that's like the big satellite one,
Oh
which
wow.
like would probably talk to space. Like
Yeah.
Putin sent up 9 satellites in the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
circle as us.
I heard
Yeah.
about all of that. Yeah.
So they're taking out some really smart positions, and then something's really going on weird in Russia. It's confusing. It's like I'm gonna have to be reading up about the Great Purge,
Okay.
because they're arresting and on bogus charges often their generals. They're even taking them off
Oh,
the field. It's
oh,
like, wow.
they must be making room for Trump supporters over there. That's what that's
I
about.
don't know what they're doing. It's
Out with
like
the old, in with the new, perhaps.
or they're gonna take down Putin. I have no clue what's going on, but it's really weird.
Mm.
So that's why I was gonna say, Shay, could you explain the purge? Because I'm gonna go read it. But what I
Okay.
really wanted to talk about is this Project 2025.
Go ahead, hit him with the update.
So I really want the Trump folks, they want to wipe out all government employees and only put Trump supportive employees, which means even the janitor, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So they want you to sign up at the Heritage Foundation. If you go to their website, and so I mean, I wonder if these mega people know what it is they want them to do. It's they want to be able to test your favoritism for Trump, his support, but also they're going to be checking your voting records,
It's
your
tryouts. It's
your
tryouts.
contributions, and then
Isn't that what they do in Russia? That's what they're doing in Russia.
well, yeah, well, here's the deal. Then what happens is then they say, okay, well, we'll just do it for all employees, right?
Oh.
Like we'll hook you up with our buddies. And so you go in there and they're gonna give you a score.
Really?
You will think about it. What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, you got to in order to
Right? You've got
rate
thousands
these
of people.
Trumpies. Yeah.
Right, you've got thousands of people who've signed up, and you want class 3. Right? This is a class 3 position.
Wow.
So are you guys ready to sign up for that database?
Any Trump supporters? Any Trump supporters ready to go sign up for this database?
It's the Heritage Foundation. They're going to take care of everything.
Christian Rodriguez, you go sign up.
Yeah, have you signed up yet, Christian?
Yeah. Conservative D, go ahead, sign up and bring confirmation that you signed up.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're really not useful here in the United States. You don't like the Democrats. You don't like Joe Biden. You don't like the economy. You don't like women. I mean, what are you doing here? Why don't you just go be with your Lord and Savior?
Great, go get on that database. Now let's tell how that database. This is weird.
Yeah.
So there's a girl who was in California, has been here 15 years. She became an American citizen, but she was Russian. She went to Russia to visit her parents.
Right.
She made a $15 donation or a $50.
I remember this.
As soon as she entered Russia, she was arrested as a spy. So what makes you think that wouldn't happen here with this database?
Well, MAGA doesn't
How
think
did
that
he
far.
get it?
Bamba, MAGA doesn't think that far. Their logic model crumbles after maybe the first circuit, right? After that, it completely crumbles on itself. All right.
Right, and it affects your family too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be marked. It's basically taking the mark of the beast.
Tell them, Bamba. Tell them.
I just want them to think about it, and if they're into it, go sign up.
All right.
Show us.
Tell them. Well, listen, Bamba, thank you so much, and have a great. It was a pleasure checking in with you.
I miss you guys. Yeah.
All right, and I miss you too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for the beautiful Bamba. No lies detected. Always providing me, and providing us honestly with updates that are going on over there in Russia and Ukraine. I totally appreciate it. And now she's pointing out that you can sign up on the Heritage Foundation's website, MAGA, to get that ultimate MAGA reward. Yeah. Nutty, are you there? I'm gonna try to get you in, bro. Are you there?
Is this third time a charm?
Yes. All right, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm out in the field, so I apologize. I wanted to address East Texas.
Okay.
So East Texas brought up that Secretary Mayorkas was impeached, and the Senate just killed it on location to the Senate, right?
Correct.
So East Texas, we have a constitution. According to the Constitution, you can only be impeached for a high crime or a misdemeanor. Okay? Mayorkas was not found to have violated a high crime or a misdemeanor. He was merely and purely impeached in the House of Representatives because they had to give red meat to their base because they could not find a high crime or misdemeanor on the person that Mayorkas works for, which is the president. Mayorkas can only carry out policy of the sitting president.
Amen.
He works for the sitting president and the American people. He doesn't create policy, sir. He carries out the policy of the president. So, in the history of this nation, no cabinet position has ever been impeached for carrying out the policy of the president until Mayorkas.
You hear that,
Let that
Texas?
sink in, East Texas. Let
You hear
that
that?
sink in. So what the Senate did, they moved to table the trial indefinitely because there's no high crime nor a misdemeanor. The impeachment managers that came over from the House, they brought no evidence of a high crime or misdemeanor. Let's say it together, class. High crime or a misdemeanor.
Well, we gotta
You
echo.
gotta have a high crime or misdemeanor. Unfortunately, in the Constitution does not give metrics on what can constitute an impeachment other than a high crime or misdemeanor. So a House can impeach anyone for anything.
Amen.
It doesn't make it right. It's absolutely political, 100%. But there needs to be a litmus that they have to reach before we even do an impeachment. I believe that, absolutely.
Amen.
Donald Trump was impeached twice by the House of Representatives. Why was he impeached twice for the House of Representatives? The first time was withholding funds from Ukraine that he did not have the authority to withhold.
He didn't.
The president of the United States does not have control of the purse.
Amen.
That is strictly Congress, my friend. And when he did that, that is a high crime or a misdemeanor. It falls under that category because he's acting outside the scope of the presidency.
Amen.
Now, I know you're going to say, well, Joe Biden did it when he was vice president for Obama. Well, guess what? Joe Biden had the authority. That's the key word.
Amen.
The authority. He was acting under the auspices of the president of the United States of America. And he was acting under the auspices of the other allies that we were working with. That said, Ukraine, we are not going to release the money until this corrupt prosecutor is removed.
Tell him.
Do you see how that works? He didn't just go rogue and say, I'm going to do this because I don't like this prosecutor. I need y'all to be honest. Y'all sitting up here, y'all lying, and y'all want to conflate what really happened. Thank you, Zeus. I'll let you out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Nutty Professor a round of applause. No lies detected, East Texas. I hope you are listening and paying attention to the information that we're sharing. Yes, it's entertaining the way we do it, but there's really nuggets of information and truth that you really need to go, really ponder on, all right? This is serious stuff. If you don't got any evidence of high crimes or misdemeanors, then you can't move forward with impeachment. It's that simple. All right. And that's why Joe Biden, they haven't impeached him. And that's why Donald Trump was impeached twice. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Rick C., I got to get up out of here. What a show, ladies and gentlemen. It has been quite the show today. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day to everyone that's out there. All right. Thank all of you who are in the armed services. Thank you for your services. All right. But before we get out of here and before I land my plane, I want to once again remind the American people of why Donald Trump will not get reelected this November. I'm going to continue to read this list off just to help make sure everyone in the world understands that this is Donald Trump. The first reason Donald Trump will not get reelected is because of the E. Jean Carroll case, the liable case, the case that he was found liable for SAing or digitally graping E. Jean Carroll. All right. What he did to that woman, not only did he digitally grape her and SA'd her, but he defamed her, and he repeatedly defamed her and owes her millions of dollars. All right. And it's in the history books. You can go look it up. It shows that Donald Trump doesn't respect women, right? The second thing is we all know Donald Trump oversaw the largest fraudulent crime ring in American history through his businesses. All right. This situation that he had, decades of fraud, resulted in him being fined almost $500 million. It just shows that he's corrupt and is terrible at business. He can't run a business and make it successful by following the rules. He has to break the laws and con people out of their money. All right. And that includes conning banks, conning the government, right? Conning everyone in order to just get a little bit of money for himself. All right. The next thing is, we all know it. He has a judge out there in the state of Florida named Aileen Cannon, who's also helping him with this. He stole the United States government's national secrets and he lied to the FBI about it. He's not fit to be president of the United States. He's not fit to be in office. No way. We can't have somebody in there doing that, giving our allies and our adversaries our national security secrets and lying to the FBI about it. Absolutely not. I wish this was all that I had on Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. I wish it was, but it's not. There's more. Thank you, Mount Negro. He also tried to overturn an election. Yes, Donald Trump and his inner circle, Rudy Colludi, Dirty in the you-know-what, John Eastman, Mark Meadows, and a host of other individuals. Some have just been recently indicted in the state of Arizona. Some have been indicted in Georgia. And, this is the case that involves Jack Smith as well. Election interference. All right? He really did try to overthrow this government with his supporters. Another example of why Donald Trump should never, ever be president of these United States. I wish that was all, ladies and gentlemen, but there is more. Donald Trump, him and his family have taken in millions and millions and millions of dollars from foreign governments. I'm talking about countries like China. I'm talking about countries like Saudi Arabia. Jared Kushner got a whopping $2 billion. This man is single-handedly shoving money from the United States government and money from other countries right into his own bank accounts. He doesn't care. As long as he can make a little extra money, he's fine. This guy is totally corrupt. He's totally compromised. Every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession, all right? I wish that was all I had to say, but there's more, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump took responsibility for ending Roe versus Wade. Thank you, Shelster, for the subscription. He took responsibility for ending Roe versus Wade, which is causing women all throughout this country irreversible harm. I'm talking physical harm. They can't get access to the medical care that they need when it comes to their reproductive rights and their reproductive freedom because this deranged lunatic stuffed our Supreme Court with some disgusting, corrupt, conservative justices who are totally corrupt and compromised. Some of them, we even caught flying flags that link them to January 6th. They know who they are. This is the most corrupt individual you could ever think of. By the way, he said he would be willing to sell, the the planet to oil companies for $1 billion and let them pollute this planet as much as they want for $1 billion. This is how disgusting and corrupt Donald Trump is, ladies and gentlemen. And I wish that was all I had to say about why Donald Trump shouldn't be president. But there's one more thing that I got on my list. And it's this Stormy Daniels case in New York. The one they said was the weakest case. This case is the perfect case to describe who Donald Trump is. He's a liar, right? He's a cheater. And he has no problem engaging in election interference. This case involves Donald Trump cheating on his wife, Melania, while she just gave birth to her son, Barron, at a golf tournament in Tahoe with Stormy Daniels. All right. And what he did to Stormy Daniels, ladies and gentlemen, it was so disturbing. They have to keep it under seal. But it was so disturbing that he was willing to go out of his way to pay her off before the 2016 election. While he was calling Hillary Clinton Crooked Hillary and saying lock her up, he was committing arguably One of the worst crimes in U.S. history. He stole an election pretty much because the information about that nasty, salacious affair with Stormy Daniels was suppressed, only to find out years later that he engaged in election interference by falsifying his business records. All right. He never divested from his business. While he was president, he was paying his former fixer, Michael Cohen, money to reimburse him for the hush money he paid Stormy Daniels. This is election interference, ladies and gentlemen. This is campaign finance laws violation. And we got the evidence because there's an innocent white sheet of paper with black letters that showed the crime scene being calculated with Allen Weisselberg's signature on it. All right. And you know, Allen told Donald Trump, this shows that Donald Trump is willing to break the law no matter what. And that's why Donald Trump will not be president of these United States, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And on that note, I'm officially landing my plane. I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers, to all of the gifters, to all the moderators, and the panelists that helped to make this show exciting, engaging, and entertaining. All right. Without you, I couldn't do what I'm doing. All right. But you know what we got to do? We got to give one more round of, you guessed it, booze and shame, right? We got to give our final round of booze and shame to the Zeus haters out there. These aren't just my haters. These are also your haters. These are people that get on TikTok day in and day out and spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. Knowingly or unknowingly, they do it. They do it with great pride. They also spread evil, hatred, bigotry, misogyny, racism, all right, on behalf of Donald J. Trump. These aren't Christians. These are hypocrites. These aren't patriots. These are traitors. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving them our final round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession, all right? And you know who you are, Uncle Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time. Same Zeus channel, same Zeus network, all right? And by the way, stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Most handsome in the kingdom.
Bunch of Zeus haters out there. Get a life. All right? Nathan's mom, thank you.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
Thank you, Jackie. Ron Williams, thank you so much. Callie Love, thank you. Thank you for letting me know I was on MSNBC. Callie Love, you're amazing. Cold as the days, thank you. Work Bros, thank you. Reggie, Rio, Queen B, Itchy, I see you, brother. Took a lonely lane, thank you. Valerie, I see you, Valerie. G-Man, thank you, brother. And hey, Sean, nice to see you. Angel, thank you. Jeffrey, Dr. G, let's go. Jackie, Little Hawk, let's go. Let's go. Be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nina. All right, I see you. Oscar, the truck driver. All right. Lady Rima, Tinkerbell, let's go. Hey, Redhead. Hey, Annie. DJ Sound Chaser, Mary Francisco 356, I see you. Mrs. Silk, all right. Holy Everpoint. NC Trouble, let's go, Jackie. T, Cali Love, Capcut, I see you. 50, I see you. Cold as the day. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Will, thank you. I try to please, all right. Angel, let's go. I am Nina Nicole. Let's go. Hey, Headman. CAA, Clean Fleet, Derek Cooper, Scarvane, let's go. I've been waiting for this moment now. I gotta choose. If you play around with love, then you guaranteed to lose. I make the game of rules. Hey, Heaven. Oh, you leveled up, Heaven. You're level 31 in the kingdom. Let's go. Placebo, Queen Fleet, Stacy Jones, Emily, I see you. I love you too. DJ Kitty Cat. Hey, Angel. Hey, Sean, I see you, champ. Oh, Mary Francisco, let's go, Jackie. I see you, G-Man, all right. You are all amazing. I really do appreciate you. You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus. All right, DJ. Carry on, Joe. I think I said that right. Michelle, nice to see you. Thank you for the subscription. Hey, Queen, please. Have a great weekend. WR, I see you. Jeffrey. Lady Reba, Nathan's mom, I see you. All right, cool as the days. Here we go.
I just want to buy 11,780 gloves. One more than we have.
Oh. And that'll get you a Rico case, ladies and gentlemen. Maureen, I see you. All right, Reggie, let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
Thank you, Yazzie.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's the Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump
Hey,
hater.
Coop. Thank you, Coop. All right, now let's give it to him, ladies and gentlemen. This is Donald Trump right before he thinks he's about to win the 2024 election. This is what he sounds like.
We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans.
Right.
We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're
You have
going
to win more. You know, his shirt opens up and his chest busts out and his supporters are just groveling for it. Oh, that's a lot of winning. But then this is Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, when the results of the election come out, all right, you know what he does?
It's such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight. And then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by.
MAGA.
And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh.
That part right there.
Because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots.
No, you
I said
didn't.
exactly.
You said you were going to win.
Because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Oh, this is hilarious.
76,000
Look at
votes
him.
with almost nothing left.
Where's that energy at, though?
And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country.
Right.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
You Trump supporters, y'all really don't believe that. You Trump supporters, y'all really don't believe that. Cut it out, all right? All right, now I got to drop the bomb and then get up out of here.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right, you ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I'm out of here.